Is it actually possible to be great and still be loved? Because it feels like I can't fully commit to both at the same time. And I don't think most people talk about that enough. I talk about chasing my goals, about becoming better, about discipline, and about building a life I'll be proud of at the end of the day. And that's all good. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be great. But at the same time, most of us don't just want success. We want people. We want connection. We crave feeling understood, supported, like we're not doing all of this alone. And those two things, I find, don't always move in the same direction. And I think that's where the question starts to get uncomfortable. Because it's so easy to say, just balance both. But when you're actually living it, it doesn't always feel that simple. I'll even go a step further and say that if you want to balance both, you're only going to be average at both. There's always going to be a sacrifice, there's always going to be compromise. I keep thinking about that tension, and it actually reminds me of something I saw in Whiplash, one of my favorite movies of all time, something I rewatched recently. There's this idea that comes up about success, about what it actually costs. The main character, Andrew Neiman, says something like he'd rather pass away drunk and broke at 34, but be remembered as one of the greatest musicians, than live to be 90, rich and sober, and not be remembered at all. And that line, it's simple, but it hits so hard because it forces you to sit with something most of us don't usually sit with. Ask yourself, what actually matters more to you? Being remembered or being surrounded? Being great or being loved? Because if I'm honest, those two things don't always go together. That's where it started to get real for me, because I found that once I started chasing something seriously, things in my life started shifting. I became more intentional with my time, more careful about where it goes. I started to say no more often, especially for social events or connections. Not because I don't care necessarily, but because I'm trying to protect something I'm building. And that's where it starts to feel different, because sometimes that means I miss moments I didn't used to miss back in the day. It's not necessarily big things either, it's small ones too. It's the random conversations that don't happen anymore, the quick check-ins that used to feel natural with friends and family, the moments where I would have just shown up without thinking twice, just agreeing to every invitation and having fun. But now I pause and weigh it against everything else I'm trying to stay consistent with. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I also don't think we always realize what we're giving up in the process. Like someone texting me, inviting me to hang out, and I just pause for a second, thinking about everything I'm in the middle of, and I say I'm busy. But I'm not really busy. I'm just in the middle of something I don't want to stop. Or when I tell someone, let's catch up soon, and I really mean it, I truly do. But then days turn into weeks, and weeks turn into something I don't even notice passing by. It is not because I stopped caring. That's the part that's hard to explain. I do care, probably more than ever. But my focus has shifted. I'm thinking about what I'm building, who I'm trying to become, what my life could look like if I stay consistent long enough. And as I mentioned, things do start to feel different. I found that conversations don't hit the same. Time together feels shorter. I'm there, but not fully there. And sometimes people start to feel that, even if they don't say it out loud. Maybe I'm at a party and I'm thinking about what I want to do, what goals I have, what steps do I want to take to achieve that, instead of being in the moment. And maybe that's the part I don't always sit with enough. That this kind of growth doesn't just change habits, it changes relationships. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly. And over time, I start to realize that the people I used to connect with and feel close to might not fully understand what I'm becoming. And I myself might not fully understand who I'm becoming either. There's just this quiet gap that forms. And instead of stopping to address it, I just keep moving forward. And maybe, sometimes it doesn't mean something is wrong. Maybe it just means something is shifting, because growth has a way of changing us, and not everything around us changes with it. That realization can feel heavier than anything else, Because it's not about conflict or distance in a dramatic sense, it's more subtle. It's realizing that even when you're around people, there are parts of you they don't see anymore, and parts of them you don't experience the same way either. It's like you're all still connected, but not in the same way as before. That's when the real tension starts to build, because if I'm being honest, I don't want to lose the people who matter to me. I don't want to become someone who feels distant, someone who achieves everything but feels disconnected. But at the same time, I don't want to look back one day and feel like I never truly gave it my all. So I end up in this middle space, trying to move forward while holding on, trying to grow without losing, trying to become someone without leaving people behind. And maybe there are people who figure that out, people who build something meaningful and still stay close to the people they love. But when I'm in it, it doesn't always feel that simple, because every choice I make is shaping me, slowly, over time, and the direction I move in starts to define who I become. And maybe, just maybe, the hardest part is realizing that there isn't always a version of this where nothing is lost. That sometimes you have to make a decision, and growth does come with distance. Not because it's meant to, but because change naturally separates me from what doesn't align anymore. Those days when I was young, having fun with friends, doing whatever, goofing around, and not having any responsibilities in the world may be lost forever. If I had stayed in that path the whole time, I would never have given myself a chance to grow to where I am now. So maybe the real question isn't whether we can have both. Maybe it's what we're willing to become depending on what we choose. Because at some point, I'm choosing something, even if I don't fully realize it yet. And I think I'm still figuring that out. Because I want to be great, but I also want to be loved. And right now, I'm just trying to understand which direction actually leads me to both and what it costs to get there. Because there's always a cost. Thanks for watching, Rardo, and I'll see you in the next video.